And here now is Art Laffer, former Reagan economic advisor and Laffer Associates chairman. Art, good to see you. So it's no secret we've got these two sort of sides in the trade battle within the Trump White House. You got Peter Navarro, who we just saw, and Wilbur Ross on one side. And you got Larry Kudlow and Steve Mnuchin on the other side, the latter two being free traders, the first two being fair traders, so-called. So who's going to win in this battle? Do you sense that anybody's going to win, or maybe it's just that Donald Trump likes the tension between the two sides?
Well, it may be that Donald Trump likes the tension, but I mean, in all honesty, Larry Kudlow and Steve Mnuchin should win. It's the right thing to do. They're completely correct. And any type of real trade war, as you know, David, would be very harmful to the U.S., to our companies, to our society, our economy, as well as to China and the rest of the world. There's no winner in a trade war. There are two losers if it's two countries. If there are 10 countries, there are 10 losers. It's just not smart doing it. Now, should we get China to lower its tariffs on U.S. products? Yes. China is much more protectionist.
Should we get them to stop stealing our intellectual property? Yes.
Sure, and we should stop other American companies from stealing intellectual property, too. It's not just an international issue, David. It's intellectual property should not be stolen from anyone by anyone.
So today's like just one day in the market, and, of course, they go up and down, but it was bad news from your perspective on the trade front today. But look at the market. It's up 300 points. Why?
It's great. Well, I think obviously people think it's not such bad news. I don't know that the trade really makes a difference in this type of market. I mean, when I look at what's going on, I think the U.S. is very attractive as an investment opportunity, and I think the markets are reflecting it.
You know, it's also nice concerning this tension between the two sides in the White House to keep the Chinese guessing. They don't know what's coming. It's kind of like our dealings with North Korea. Kim doesn't know what's coming next. And it's good to keep your competitors kind of off balance, isn't it?
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it I would think of China and the United States as partners in trade, not competitors in trade.
Yeah, but you know, Art, forgive me for interrupting. I would have said the same thing about 10 years ago, or maybe even 20 years ago. When we all thought that trade was going to make them more democratic and less militaristic, less bellicose. Instead, it's been the opposite. We've had more trade with China than ever, and yet they've become much less democratic and much more militaristic than before. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but I don't think it has to do with our trade with them, honestly. I mean, when you look at China, I was the first American in modern times to go to China.
But the point is trade hasn't helped. That's the point, Art. I mean, we had thought, the Wall Street Journal edit page and you and I had all thought that if you had more trade with China, they'd become more democratic and they'd become less militaristic. It's been the reverse.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. We don't know what they would have been like had we not had any trade with them at all. Maybe they would have become North Korea and be really bellicose and hostile. I think trade makes people far better friends than it does enemies, and I think it's good for American business. I think it's good for Chinese business. I think it's really good for the U.S. economy, and I hope that Larry Kudlow and Steve Mnuchin win. And I hope we don't get protectionist barriers on there. Yeah. And I hope this prosperity continues. I don't want to see 1974 again after we put a 10% import surcharge. We devalued the dollar and we had this job development credit that it did not include. I don't want to see all these other
one of the great things that you and I know about Larry Kudlow is he's a great negotiator. Not only does he have firm beliefs, but he's a good diplomat. He knows how to get both sides together, even if they can disagree. I got to ask you real quick on something a lot more positive. There's a new regulatory change by the Trump administration to make it easier to fire bureaucrats who aren't doing their job in the federal government. That's got to be good news, right?
It's great news. I'd love to see us go a step further, David, and have a national right to work law. I think that would be phenomenal for the U.S., and I think we have the votes in Congress to do it. Otherwise, you're going to get problems with federal employment all over the place, and you're going to have problems with California and other states that just can't get out of the clutches of the teachers' unions there in those states. So a national right to work law, I think, would be great for this administration to propose and put it through. And now that we have so many states that are right to work, I think it could get passed.